purpose of the after-action review is to provide feedback essential to correcting deficiencies in operations or training. An after-action review is a facilitated self-analysis of an organization's performance, conducted at appropriate times during and at the conclusion of a training event or operation, with the objective of improving future performance. It addresses what went well and how to sustain it, and what went wrong and how to improve it. There are two types of AARs, formal and informal. Both include a facilitator, event participants, and other observers. The formal AAR takes more time to prepare. It uses complex training aids, and it's conducted where it's best supported. The informal AAR takes less time to prepare. It uses simple training aids. It is conducted when needed, and it's held at the training site. This video will discuss the informal AAR, particularly the informal AAR conducted at the small unit level. Leaders use informal AARs as on-the-spot coaching tools during or immediately after execution of a training event. Ideas and solutions gathered during these AARs can be applied immediately as the unit continues operations. AARs involve all soldiers, which makes them extremely important. There are 4 phases of the AAR process: planning, preparing, conducting, and follow-up. Phase 1. Planning. AAR planning is part of each training event. During planning, commanders identify tasks and events, identify responsibilities, and ensure allocation of time and resources to conduct AARs.
All right, team. Hey, we're on glide path right now with this training plan by executing Team Live Fire T-6, where we're still meeting all the objectives lined out in our unit training plan. But following this training event, need everyone to be really, honest as we're AARing the event, and then you're providing your update and your platoon assessments on where we're at in terms of meeting our medal. If we require some additional retraining, or if we identify some training gaps in this training event, you need to come forward and let us make sure that's put forward for everyone to see, because we can go ahead and adjust our unit training plan if required, so that we can hit all those objectives. Okay, because we're training to standard, not to time. Okay.
All right, guys, we're 6 weeks out from our Team Live Fire mission that we're going to be doing. For the next 2 weeks, we're slated for training to train up for this mission. In my view, we're going to do a leaders recon on Wednesday, do a walkthrough of the lane, make sure everybody knows what's going on. We need to get the TNEOs to make sure that all our guys are training on the proper steps for this live fire. We need to prepare our guys to do AARs, the team leaders, so they can fix all their deficiencies through each run, so through the blank and live fire, they can get better and stronger.
Yes, sir. That's not a problem. I'll make sure I review the AAR process with the squad leaders.
I'm gonna go work on next week's con-op for this mission, so I'll get back with you guys later.
In preparation for your team and squad level AARs, things you want to take into consideration is where you're going to conduct your AAR, who's going to attend your AAR, where your observers in Op 4 are going to come in so that you can get feedback from them, and then also training aids that you may need for your AAR. Are there any questions?
Planning provides the foundation for successful AARs. Commanders provide their intent and guidance to develop a plan for the AAR in each training event. The commander's guidance should contain which tasks are trained and are the focus of the AAR, in which phases of the operation are AARs conducted, who observes the training and who conducts the AAR, and who attends the AAR.
All right, gentlemen, we're here to execute the reconnaissance for our Team Live Fire, which will be executing here in about 3 weeks. Everyone should have with them a copy of their training evaluation outline, which outlines all the tasks that we're going to be training, evaluating our soldiers on. Also should have a copy of the concept sketch, which has a layout for the lane. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be looking for all the trigger points. Everywhere we're going to have to call up targets. Also, we're going to identify the placement for the Op 4 and the placement for the observer controllers, which will be the PLs and platoon sergeants. And then first round we'll touch on it a little bit more, but we're going to be looking for the kind of the behind-the-scenes support that we're going to be required to execute the lane.
Subordinate leaders determine how to achieve the commander's intent for the AAR by deciding where to position observers, when and where the AAR leader gathers input from other observers, when and where the AAR occurs, and what training aids are required.
I also think that we should place the Op 4 a little bit off the hill so they can effectively engage our soldiers, and also see what kind of tactics they're using so they can give us some feedback on the objective, just a little 1-2 minute feedback very hastily before we actually go back to the sand table for the more in-depth version of the AAR.
Roger, sir. I'll conduct a walkthrough with the squad leaders to ensure they have a complete understanding.
Sound good, Sergeant. Make it happen.
During Phase 1, the planning phase, the AAR leaders will review the training and evaluation outlines, review the leader's guide to after-action reviews, and review the AAR process. The AAR leader will conduct the recon to determine when and where to plan stopping points and locations for observers during the exercise, and determine who would attend the AAR. Now that the plan is in place, it's time to move on to Phase 2. Phase 2, Preparing. During Phase 2, Preparing, the AAR leader should review the tasks the unit must perform, training and evaluation outlines, or TNEOs, orders, and doctrine. Identify key events, select the AAR sites, observe the training, take notes, collect observations, organize the AAR and select the best technique, and rehearse for the AAR. In Phase 2 of the after-action review, the AAR leader collects the observations of the opposing force soldiers and other observers and prepares notes. The location for the AAR and where to gather feedback was chosen during the planning phase. Since the event is complete, the AAR leader will move his soldiers to the selected AAR site and prepare for the AAR. He may also prepare his training aids as needed. Remember, informal AARs don't require a lot of time or resources, and it may be appropriate at times to stop action during the training event and conduct the AAR on the spot.
Put your weapon on safe before you actually go. You were moving as you were putting your weapon on safe, okay? Put your weapon on safe, then you move. All right?
Phase 3, Conducting. The time to conduct the AAR is when the training exercise has reached a scheduled stopping point or as required. When the AAR preparation is complete, the key player should be at the designated AAR site.
All right, guys. We just finished up our live fire day portion. We're going to conduct this AAR. Rules of engagement for this AAR: don't be thin-skinned. All right, we're just going to work through some of the deficiencies we had as a team and a squad. We'll start off what the mission was. Bacon, you can go ahead and key on that.
Our mission was a reconnaissance and surveillance mission on Objective Eagles, and we would proceed where we would take contact later on.
Okay. We're going to start through the movement piece from SP.
The AAR leader does several important things in an AAR. He reinforces the idea that it's permissible to disagree. He places the focus of the AAR on learning. He encourages his soldiers to give honest feedback, and he guides the conversation by asking open-ended and leading questions.
When we were closing in on the objective,
Roger,
we were using it as a focal point, but our ends were collapsing, right?
Roger.
Okay.
I mean, we moved pretty good. When we got down when we needed to get down, we fired when we needed to fire. We would get too close sometimes, or I wouldn't be able to hear, so we probably work on that a little bit better.
All right. Hey, communication's always going to be a piece. That's something we can work on as a squad and a team. I'm learning how to talk those guns, so we're not talking as much, just going off of the fire. I mean, left side, here's that saw up. They know that right side's set, right?
Remember, AARs aren't just 3 ups and 3 downs. They're meant to discover what went right and what went wrong, and identify needed corrections. In summary, during the conduct phase, AAR leaders should start an AAR by reviewing its purpose and parts, emphasize the rules of engagement in their introduction, create a comfortable atmosphere, review the AAR's objectives, mission, and commander's guidance. During the summary, review and summarize key points identified during the discussion. End the AAR on a positive note. linking conclusions to learning and possible training. If appropriate, allow the leaders and soldiers time to discuss the learning in private. Phase 4, follow-up.
All right, guys, I want to provide feedback to the CO from the team live fire that we just completed. Sergeant Poole, what did you learn from the AAR process, and what are some of the deficiencies our guys can fix?
Hey, sir, some key things I noted from the AAR. We need to brush up on knife familiarization. I noticed a few of the guys were struggling a little bit during the night portions, so if we can clean up some of that, just doing some more NOS training. Some of the saw gunners, it'd be beneficial to get them out on the saw range at night. So I'd like to plug that in the training calendar the next few weeks. As far as team leaders, they did an excellent job training their guys from TA-10 up until the training event. So we really need to let the team leaders know they did a good job. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Sir, I think Sergeant Poole is absolutely correct. From my observation of the AARs also, it's team and squad level, there was definitely some problems as far as night fire is concerned. I think that it's going to make us overall successful to do more night training for future exercises, sir.
I agree with everything you guys said.
The final step of the AAR has two main goals: provide leaders with feedback on problem areas and offer solutions for those problems, and identify activities to be sustained. As we observed in Phase 4, the AAR is not over until the lessons learned during the AAR are appropriately documented, reviewed, leaders are informed, and the results are put into practice. The leader should identify specific ways to improve proficiency, conduct multiple repetitions, conduct retraining, revise and/or update standing operating procedures. The AAR is an invaluable training tool. It defines what was supposed to happen based on the mission, commander's guidance, and concept of the operation. The AAR describes what happened during the actual exercise, and it identifies what was right about those actions and what was wrong, and it determines how the task should be done differently next time. Remember, the AAR is not meant to be a critique of what happened. It's designed to be a positive and honest discussion on how to improve the performance of the soldier and the unit.